some of our adult children have waited to get an iPhone or something like that because they feel like it's important for them that they're not like dealing with all of that, until later down the road. And when they do, we put the safeties on them. They ask for that, and I feel like it's not. You realize that in a moment of weakness, or where you're, at the split second when something comes up on the screen, when it isn't even connected to what you were searching for, it could be that quick that you see something that could cause you to be tempted and stumble.
It's been hard physically. There's definitely a lot of hard things, but in the end, I'm definitely looking forward to what the Lord's gonna do in my life. I know He's gonna do a great work, so I know it's gonna be good.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's February 4th and we have some more Duggar tea for you. This is coming from a source connected to the Duggars and the Caldwells, and someone who has keen information, exclusive information for you about some of the things that happen in Duggarville. A lot of you guys often ask questions about these various academies that they send their kids to, whether it is Journey for the Heart for the girls or Alert Academy for the boys. We know that the Duggars love to promote these places, and you also just heard in the intro how strict the Duggars are with their kids and their social media usage. You know that some of the kids are not even allowed to have Instagram, and some of them often are not allowed to have any sort of social media until they get engaged or married. Some of the boys have been given access to social media. In fact, James has an Instagram account, Jedediah has an Instagram account, Jeremiah has an Instagram account, and Jason. So you've got 4 boys who are not courting and have access to the internet. But it hasn't always been the case, and I'll tell you why in a second. Before we do get there, give this video a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Subscribe down here if you'd like to subscribe, and then turn those notifications on so you know when new content loads and I go live. We'll have many more exclusives coming soon. A lot of the questions I get from you guys has to do with these academies that the Duggars send their kids to. In the video I just showed you, in the intro, you saw Michelle and Jim talk about how their adult children ask them to monitor their social media. Imagine, in a world where you're an adult with free will to access anything that you want, and you want your parents to monitor your social media. It's not weird in this world, and these kids do it, or else they have to do other things, like maybe go to the Alert Academy if, say, they might potentially find out, mom and dad might find out that they have unrestricted access to the internet. You know what that means. So let's go there. The Duggars love to promote the Alert Academy. In fact, on their Facebook, they actually just promoted them as recently as August of 2020. The International Alert Academy is a Christian discipleship and service organization that trains young men to meet needs in times of crisis. Joseph, Josiah, Jeremiah, Jason, and James have all gone through Alert Academy and highly recommend the program. Alert will help you grow physically and spiritually and teach you to be ready to serve and train you with skills so that you can use where God's calling takes you. So this is where parents in this world will send in the Institute of Basic Life Principles, because I should note this is actually part of their organization, where parents in the IBLP will send their boys in times of crisis. Now, in times of crisis are different for you and for me. In the real world, we may not send our children to an academy like this for the reasons the Duggars might. Here are some questions that they want you to answer in order to be admitted. Have you ever had adult relations? Have you ever been involved in a LGBTQ plus relationship? Have you ever fathered children? Have you ever been physically harmed or SA'd? Have you ever been involved in any sort of crimes or convicted? Do you have any tattoos? Or are you consider obtaining one? And have you ever looked at the following? Adult content, you know what I'm talking about, smoking, using street stuff, the candy, or drinking alcohol. So in this world, if you are dealing with one of these things, you would be in crisis. So if you are looking at adult websites, if you are attracted to the same sex, or if you even have a tattoo, the Alert Academy is going to take it and let you learn how to be a better person and get all of that out of you. Really, they're not. Actually, it doesn't really work. But anyways, so back in 2019, it was noted that the Duggar boys, 2 of them in fact, were at the Alert Academy, James and Jason, at the same time for a 9-week program. There's lots of videos and photos on the Alert Academy's Facebook page that shows them there. There was James basically being in there. There was a clip of James effectively showing you that he was there and he was interviewed. And why were they sent there by the Duggars? Well, this is where we've got some tea for you. So here's how it goes. Back in 2019, apparently, Jason got access to unrestricted internet, according to a source. So this is an allegation. During this time, according to the source, Jason was interested in a young lady and some feelings were starting to be developed. Shortly after he gained access to unrestricted internet, his parents found out. He was hiding it from his parents, according to the source, for quite some time. Again, this is all alleged. Shortly thereafter, when his parents found out, according to the source, they removed his access to the internet, and he apparently was not even able to speak to girls, like at all. He could not acknowledge women in any capacity near him. Yikes. It was also around that same time that he was sent to the Alert Academy. Okay, so he was not allowed to speak to women, according to the source. He was not allowed to have any relationships with women at all, according to the source. And he was sent to the Alert Academy around that same time, according to the source. And James went with him at the same time as well. It's not clear if James also had the same issues or if there was another reason that James was sent to the Alert Academy. But both boys were there at the same time in the same group called Unit 61. So while they were there, they took all kinds of, they did boot campy stuff, survival skills, lots of calisthenics, and just a lot of manual work, because that's exactly what you need to do when you're struggling with anything, is to just simply put the kids to work. Work camps are basically the answer for everything in this world. But now it seems that once they were sent there, it sort of uprooted any sort of contact between Jason and any of these girls that he might have potentially had interest in, and effectively sort of put him out in a corner. He was like kind of put in timeout, according to the source. Jason also changed quite a bit, apparently, following his return from the Alert Academy. Most say that he's doing well now, but isn't it interesting how in the April of 2020, they were doing an interview talking about how they place covenant eyes on their adult children's apps or their iPhones. And that they said that their adult children's want this because they don't want to stumble. I should note that Jason just turned 20 years old. So when this happened, he was 18 and James would have been 17. So when he was there, he was 18 and James was 17. The minimum age to go to the cadet program at the Alert Academy is 17 years old. So they went through a 9-week boot camp and they did so many different things and they apparently learned so much, but it was all because of apparently unrestricted access to the internet. So imagine you're like an adult. Imagine you're an adult at the time, Jason, and you just happen to look at your phone and it's not restricted. Right? You're looking at the internet and the Duggars find out. So instead of like helping you understand what it is that you're doing, and by the way, you're still an adult, You're sent away to a boot camp for 9 weeks and told you cannot talk to any women, and basically made to go through sort of like this program to help clean up your mind and help you in crisis. Is looking at things online really a crisis in a child's mind? Is it really a crisis in truth that you would send your kids to a boot camp? Now, this is not cheap either. It's $3,600 for the first half, and then it's another $4,000 plus for the second half. So they spend over $7,000 sending each child, so over 15 grand that the Duggars spent to send the 2 boys there for 9 weeks. And because of, apparently for at least Jason, unrestricted internet access usage. And it's interesting because in the same interview from 2020, Mr. Jim Bob did mention that some of his boys have a problem with certain things online. Here's the thing, you guys. Boys are boys, right? And so are girls. That is an age where it's not abnormal to be interested or even want to explore different things online. It's also not uncommon to want to explore other relationships or to get in touch with yourself, if you know what I'm saying. And the fact that it's so repressed by the Duggars, it makes it like these kids just simply being curious at the regular normal period in life. Come on, you guys know how, boys are 15 to 25 years old. You know what's on their mind a lot of the time. Is it really that off the wall that a boy might want to look at some things online? Is it really that off the wall that they might be interested in girls? And is the answer really sending them to a boot camp to help them because you caught them looking at it, to the extent that you would not allow him to have contact with the opposite sex? It's pretty extreme. But according to the source, they say that's what happened. So they graduated in May of 2019. And in the next installment of Duggar Tea that we have coming up, we're going to start talking about Justin Duggar and his relationship with Claire and why he might actually be getting married so young, and it's not what you think. And the history of their relationship is not what you would actually believe. Apparently, Justin has a wild side and has a bit of a reputation. We'll get there next. But on this video, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.